This is episode 35 of the TO Sports Talk podcast. I'm Evan Brown. That's James Price, host of TO Sports Talk. Let's get right into it quickly. The William Nylander contract disputes, contract talks. I'm so sick of talking about it, but we're going to have to mention it because there's breaking news.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, we're 15 days away from December 1st, so there's been all kinds of reports lately. Elliot Friedman last Saturday, actually, on the podcast, was saying that Kyle Dubas is now fielding offers for William Nylander, or he's put him on the trading block. What does this mean, really?
Means that the deal isn't getting close to being done.
And for me personally, I don't think he'll be traded. Okay. And either two things will happen. I think Nylander's camp will collapse and say, okay, fine, we'll take the deal. Let's just get this thing over and done with. Or the deal will not get done, period. And Nylander will not play this year in the NHL.
Yeah, I'm with the fact of the motive that, listen, this has been dragging out for so long now. The Nylander camp isn't going to collapse. Obviously, Dubas isn't going to collapse. I have a feeling that we are going to deal Nylander. I don't want it to happen, but I have a feeling it's come to this point where this relationship between Leafs and their camp, it's not good. It's, if you could say, cancerous. So I think the Leafs right now, Dubas is doing the right move where he's fielding offers, but the only thing I don't like about that is we're not going to get anything close to the caliber of Nylander. But rightly so, because GMs know that the Leafs are in a bit of a pickle, so they're going to lowball offer for Nylander, right? So there was two mock trades on Saturday. One was, I think, Colby Armstrong and Nick Kiprio said this. So it was Nylander to the Ducks for Nick Ritchie and Brendan Montour. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't really know too much about Montour. All I know is about Nick Ritchie is that as of right now, he's like a fourth liner, not going to put up many points. He's not really a guy. He's a big body, but
Which go to their stats, because I know Brendan Montour is a right-handed defenseman, and he is good. He's a top four defenseman, Brendan Montour. Could be even top two.
This year, he has 6 points in 20 games.
Okay. If you just want to look at his stats overall, go on HockeyDB.
He's a -9 this year as well.
Well, the Ducks aren't a good team. And obviously, Nick Ritchie was drafted in the same draft. Was it 2014? As William Nylander. Yeah. We are actually Anonis was supposed to take Ritchie.
That's what I was hoping at the time.
Me too.
So the 24-year-old right-handed defenseman, he had 32 points last year, but before that he only had 6 in 27, and so far this year 6 in 20.
So how old is he?
He is 24.
He's 24, so he's still developing, right? And you're getting Nick Ritchie, who is, like you say, third liner. I wouldn't say fourth liner. He's a good player, but he's a third liner type of guy. Big body, can drive the net, and still has
he has 1 assist in 5 games this year. He's been sitting quite a bit this year.
Okay, so
if you're sitting on the Ducks in the forward core, I don't know. That
trade isn't bad because we're getting a top 9 forward and a top 4 defenseman back for a player who is obviously better than those two. But the one thing about this trade,
he put up 27 points last year and 28 the year before.
Yeah, so
he's only played 5 this year. I don't know if that's to do with injury
or still young.
22 years old, same as Nylander.
But like you say, the upside isn't tremendous.
No.
So I would like this trade switching out Nick Ritchie for maybe a Jakob Silfverberg.
Yeah.
Jakob Silfverberg is like a 40-45 point guy, is a goal scorer.
But the problem with
not as big.
The problem with Silfverberg is the fact that he will not be probably playing top 6 minutes.
Probably not.
With this team, so that point total might drop.
As of now, I don't really mind this trade.
I mean, I don't. You still stay young. You get you get a 22-year-old forward in Nick Ritchie. I mean, ideally not to the offensive class as William Nylander.
Not even close.
But you also get the right-handed defenseman of Brandon Montour, more of a steady right-handed defenseman that the Leafs just don't have right
Someone
now.
that can play with Jake Gardiner, because we know Ron Haynes is not coming off that first pairing for some reason.
I don't know.
So I don't mind this trade. Now, the other one from Colby Armstrong, which I'm not too much of a fan of because we're only getting it's a 1-1 swap, Colton Parayko.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. He's obviously 6'6".
He's a great right-handed defense. He's a top 4, top 2 right-handed defenseman.
I wouldn't say top 2 as of now.
On this team, on the Leafs right now?
Well, he wouldn't be playing top 2 because Ron Haynes' situation. he's better than Brandon Montour, but you're not getting a forward back, which arguably we don't really need a forward back, but at the same time it would be nice if we get 2 for 1.
Right.
How about this trade in your opinion?
No,
neither.
Quick thing. And I know you and I before the podcast had a little dispute about this whole Nylander situation and everything. Because I personally think he's either going to sit or he'll be signed. I don't think he'll be traded because, I mean, look, like you already said, you're not going to get the caliber back.
No.
And my question to you is, look, we know what the defense core is. We know what the forward core looks like right now.
Correct.
Without William Nylander. But then you think about it this way. The end of the season, like we've talked about in previous podcasts, Jake Gardner's contract is up, and so is Ron Hainsey's. We've talked about those two. That combined, about $7 million?
Something like that.
You look to trade Patrick Marleau.
Yeah. I mean,
and you trade those three. You get rid of those 3 contracts, and ideally, you're just thinking about getting rid of Jake Gardner. And that's two of your stud defensemen as of right now for the Leafs. So that's hard to look at right now as a possibility. But if those guys do leave at some point via trade or via free agency, that's why I think the Leafs camp might just wait and try and gain some cap space in the offseason and get Nylander back.
Yeah, I'm just afraid. I'm with you on that, and that would be the best move, I would say, right now, if we don't get a contract done. But if you let him either sit and just have his rights or let him play overseas, the relationship won't be good at all. It would be cancerous, you can say, by the time that we do trade one of those players for cap room and do sign him. I think if that were to happen and he would be on the team and we would sign him to a deal come June or whenever, I don't know if it would work out per se with... I'm just talking about the relationship. I don't know if they would stand for that or even sign with the Leafs. If the Leafs get cap room and for him to be playing overseas for a full year, I don't know if you'll want to sign with the Leafs. I don't know.
Well, if it's for me, it doesn't seem like it's about winning. It seems that it's about money, and I get it. Money's a big factor, but and I know his father has a big mouth and has really been a part of this. I don't know. I really don't know the situation. It's hard for us to dwell on it, but
because we have no insight on what's going on, and it's not like William Nylander is coming from a middle class family. Buddy,
his dad played in the NHL for years.
You're well.
That right there in
what's
itself.
The extra mil? You'll want to win.
And he's still going to be making, like, at the very least, $6.5 million a season for 6 years. Put that into perspective, $36 million.
And this isn't really breaking news, but I did hear this, that the Leafs officially offered the Pasternak deal, which they should have done earlier.
Yeah.
But it just happened, right? They offered him 6.6, probably for like 6 years. He didn't obviously take that, but I'm just saying, the Leafs should have offered that a while ago. So
yeah.
that's bad on the Leafs' part. But at the same time, I don't know. It's a tricky situation. I don't think he'll sign by December 1st.
I don't think so either. But I'm thinking to myself, if you're Nylander's camp, it's a really delicate situation there right now. You sign with the Leafs for the 6 years. You're guaranteed a 6-year contract and a lot of money. Well, in our eyes, I guess. In their eyes, it's not so much. But you don't sign. Let's say you go play overseas. Let's say he gets hurt. Yeah. What happens then? You've lost all that money. Or what happens if he doesn't play a good year in the Swiss League and has a terrible season?
Because it's not, yeah.
Our teams are going to see that and go, whoa, what's going on there?
Teams are desperate enough, and I think I talked about this. Teams are desperate enough, even if he does get hurt, they see, okay, he got hurt. This is still a 60, 70-point guy. You're telling me that the Carolina Hurricanes, that the Arizona Coyotes won't offer him $8 million next season if he plays overseas? Of course they will.
Is it for winning? Is it for money? If it's for money, you just said 2 teams that are not going to be battling for playoff spots for a little bit at least.
Well, it doesn't matter if they are. They're gonna pay Nylander.
That's what I'm saying. If it's about money or not. Because if it's money, then yeah, those 2 teams can definitely afford him, and they definitely sign him probably happily.
Well, that's with any players, right? Like, someone would offer Matthews $15 million.
Yeah, whether he accepts that and wants to go there and lose, or he wants to stay here and take a few $1 million less and win, that's up to him.
Oh, yeah, for sure. it's just coming to a point now, Leafs fans, where we really have to think about this possible scenario. I don't like doing these really mock trades. I want William Nylander on this team, but it doesn't look like he's gonna be. And I actually tweeted out a mock trade, and I think this is a one where you would agree on, which would be the best. William Nylander and Jake Gardiner to the Flyers for Shane Gostisbehere and Wayne Simmons. Wayne Simmons has an expiring deal. Yes, I understand that, but so does Jake Gardiner. Shane Gostisbehere's locked up. He's locked up to $5 million. $5 million, I think, at 5 years.
Okay. He's
Left
a damn
shot,
good defenseman.
Good defenseman. I would love Provorov, but I don't think that Philly's going to give up Provorov. Shane Gostisbehere is a 45, 50-point guy. Left-handed, I get it, but really good defenseman.
Ron Hainsey's left, so he's playing on the right side, so it doesn't really matter there.
And plus, he can slot him for Jake Gardiner on the fourth pair.
And you have him for contract time, and Gardner's going to want more than $5 million in free agency.
And Wayne Simmons, who knows? I mean, if you shed some cap, listen, I love Patrick Marleau. I would love Wayne Simmons over Patrick Marleau.
Oh, I agree. Couldn't agree more. Toronto boy as well.
And we don't have that guy that's a mean guy. We were planning on Matt Martin to be that mean guy.
The NHL's gone from that. See, the difference between a mean guy and a good player who plays physical, there's a big difference.
Okay, well, I'm talking about, like you say, a good player who plays physical. If
Matt Martin is not that.
If we're facing Brad Marchand, the Bruins again, they pull out the Brad Marchand line. If you put out Wayne Simmons with Brad Marchand, he is gonna
put out Wayne Simmons with Kadri. Oh boy.
See, the Leafs don't have that mean guy who can score goals. Kadri's not really.
He's not a mean guy.
He's a pest.
Yeah.
I'm talking someone who can throw hands and is a hard hitter and is tough son of a you-know-what. And that's Wayne Simmons. If you guys didn't know, Wayne Simmons has to be one of my favorite players from Scarborough, right? Just went to high school down the street from us. So I would love him on the Leafs. And Shane Gostisbehere too. I think that's a trade that me and you would both agree on.
Oh, yeah. Because what that would do wonders for you. I mean, look, you would not have to worry about Jake Gardiner's contract.
Mind you have to worry about Wayne Simmons, but,
I mean,
that being said, you're getting a defenseman back from the Flyers who's locked up.
Yeah. And you put into perspective what Gardner's making compared to what Gostisbehere's making, it's not a lot of difference. And you compare to what Gardner's going to want in free agency, it's going to be more than what Gostisbehere's making now.
Right now, they're about both same defensemen. I would imagine. Maybe Gostisbehere is better in his own end. I think he is better in his own end, but points wise, pretty much the same. And yeah, like you just mentioned, right? Jake Gardner's contract's up. If we trade him, all right, there we go, Philly. You could probably re-sign him because they probably can, and we'll take back Shane Gostisbehere, and you could maybe sign William Nylander too, because they do need scoring. And yeah, I think that's what we can both agree on. But again, I don't want it to get to that point. Hopefully he signs. Yeah. I don't think he will though.
You don't think he will, period?
I can't say in the future if we still hold on to his rights, but I can tell you before December 1st, I don't think we will.
I'm gonna really see. I try to be optimistic most of the time. Like thinking of the fact that I don't think he'll be traded. I don't think that will happen because I think that's a little extreme. I know the situation is pretty extreme, but the just I don't know, trading a guy at 22 years of age that what he could get. I mean, 60 to 70 points in his first 2 seasons in the NHL. That's nothing to snub your nose at.
No, it's not.
And to trade him away like he's nothing, and I see everybody talking everywhere. Oh, just trade him.
What do you mean?
You're the people that when he comes back and lights up the Leafs will hate on the Leafs for trading him.
Yeah.
So, you know what? For me, I don't know how this is all going to go down, but I don't think he'll be traded. I think, look, it's a big risk for him.
Do you think he's going to get signed before December 1st?
I think it's a possibility. I really do think it's a possibility.
So you think he will?
Yeah, I think so. Just for the fact of, like, the giant risk of not playing in the NHL for a year and playing overseas for a year and not getting the money. I mean, come on. This is what it's all about, right? Is the money. I mean, he's not going to be making the big money here.
Would the Leafs consider a sign-in trade with the team? You sign him for his $8 million. Good for you. You trade him away.
Well, how much more value do you get? Because these teams that want to trade for him, they probably already have a contract ready to go for him if he gets traded to him. So I don't really know if that
Well,
would be
ready to go, but
right. I don't know if that's a
probably
big issue.
It would probably be in the ballpark of $8 million for a team that's
right.
not
So,
the Leafs.
so
It's not
is it really going to
cap-strapped.
up the value having already a contract?
No,
I mean, I don't think it would do much.
It's not. But
and then you do the sign and trade, and that just puts a bad rep on Kyle Dubas, which doesn't really help
no
our situations when it comes to contract
It
negotiations
doesn't.
and stuff. So I don't know if a sign and trade would be a good idea.
Well, again, hopefully you're right. You're right about John Tavares coming to the Leafs because I don't think he
And
would.
Kawhi Leonard.
And Kawhi Leonard. Hopefully you are right about this. Now,
because you think about it, right? Because I mean, Nylander wants to play in the NHL. He does. I think there's no question about that. I think everybody can agree with that. And he won't be playing if December 1st comes around and he's not in a Leafs jersey and if hasn't been traded. Yeah. He won't be playing in the NHL. He won't be making nearly close to the amount of money this year that he would be.
Well, with any team, because any team, if he doesn't play,
no, I mean if he goes overseas, he won't be making nearly as much money.
I would think twice about that. You know, I think that other players would, like, for example, that's the reason why Kovalchuk left. I think is because he signed with New Jersey. He retired. He got his money, and then he got a massive contract from CSKA Moscow.
That's the KHL though.
Well,
I don't think Nylander would go to the KHL. Wouldn't he go to the Swiss League?
No, you never know.
Because he was practicing with some Swiss League teams, wasn't he?
But KHL is, you can say, arguably better or more skillful than the Swedish League. But
what if he goes there and he doesn't tear it up?
Well,
right? I mean, you run that risk. Nylander's camp really runs that risk.
But if he goes to a Swedish league, he is going to tear it up. I think me and you can agree on that.
No, I think we look at it from an NHL standpoint and say, absolutely, there's no question about it. He will tear it up in the Swiss League. But will he actually?
Well, he tore it up when he was 20 years old in the Swiss League. Okay. So I could see if this was a North American player.
But now the problem is, now you're playing for a contract. You're playing for your life now here.
Well, that's why he's going to try. And that's why if that does happen, we are looking,
they run the risk.
They do. Yeah,
and that's why I think in the end, if it gets close and close to December 1st, I think the Leafs will say, well, you want to go overseas and not play in the NHL this year, bud? Because that's what's going to happen if you don't sign this contract. They might say, you know what, fine, we're done negotiating. Let's just get this thing done and move on from it.
There's been we
thought that was going to happen for quite a while, but it never happened.
There's so many articles on this whole situation. It's been absolutely reported to the ground. Everyone's talking about it. We just have to mention it. Of course, we got caught in the loop too. But you know, it's something that we have to address. So with that being said, let's talk about the Leafs and 3 games that happened since the last podcast. Was it 3?
Well, the Boston game was when we were doing it live.
Right. So the Boston game, we obviously lost 6-1 to the Bruins.
So it's actually only been the one game, actually.
What do you think of Garrett Sparks? He had a stinker.
I said it from day one. He is not an NHL goaltender.
He flops around, and I think you may be right about that.
He is not good enough.
But if you're playing, you gotta get hot somehow. If you're playing the odd game or two.
This is why I loved Curtis McElhinney, because he knew what it took to be an NHL backup goalie. Like that, I've been hearing all over the place. Garrett Sparks was in the AHL last year, played a ton of games, put up ridiculously good numbers, and he was everyday starter there in the playoffs. So that's what he comes here and expects that.
No, he doesn't expect.
All right, but he's so used to it, and now he's going into a backup role where he's playing once every 3 weeks or whatever. I guess in this case it's a week and a half or a week. But
question for you: do you see a problem with how little Mike Babcock is playing Garrett Sparks?
No, I don't have a problem with it at all. Freddie Anderson is your number one goalie.
I get it.
He is your starting goalie. He should be playing every single night. Look what McElhinney. Were we complaining about that?
That's different though. McElhinney was a veteran. McElhinney was used to it. No, but the fact is that what you're saying, you're telling me that if you play Frederik Andersen 65 plus games, the man's gonna break down. You saw last year. You saw the year before.
The team broke down last year.
Dude, if you're playing a goalie 65 games plus, that is gonna hurt the goaltender. I don't care how good you are. You have a serviceable backup, and it's hard to get hot when you're playing the odd 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
That is why letting McElhinney go was a mistake, because you have a number one goalie in Freddie Anderson. Yeah. And look, last year, Freddie Anderson was the most worked shots on goal wise goalie in the league, and we all saw that. This year, I think he's top 5, but he's not first.
No.
The Leafs are playing better defensively. They're not allowing as many shots. Look at that LA game.
Yeah.
He looked like he could have a snack or have some dinner while he's in net.
Mind you, you're facing probably one of the slowest teams in the league, but I hear you.
Look at last year. The Leafs lost in LA.
I hear you. I just don't like this absurd workload on Freddie Anderson, right? I don't, because, listen, if you play him 65 games plus, you're bound for an injury.
Look at the best goalies in the league. Look at Braden Holtby. He plays that amount. Look at
last year how he struggled.
And then he got to the playoffs and was the best.
How did he get to the playoffs? Grubauer.
Yeah, but Grubauer was a backup. He learned how to be
But he
a
had
backup.
a lot of starts. He had a lot of starts with Braden Holtby.
I mean, yeah, Garrett Sparks had a few starts too. Look,
this year?
Garrett Sparks has started a couple games. Yes, he has.
3.
Okay.
Out of how many?
Like 18? Okay, and
what percentage is that? That's like
look at Freddie Anderson's stats and look at Garrett Sparks' stats, and you're telling me just to get him some work in, you're basically going to try and throw away a game.
No. If
look at that Boston game.
No, but okay. So would you rather keep him in for about 2 or 3 games and throw away games, or if there's a back-to-back, you're going to lose because you didn't start him. He's cold. What would you rather have?
This is why, and I'll say it again. McElhinney should have never been waived.
No, I agree on that, but it's hard for anybody to get hot, especially a backup goalie when they're not getting a lot of starts.
So you're saying give him more starts.
Yes, you have him. Use your backup more. You have this guy who can potentially be a starter in the NHL. We don't know yet. Play him more, Mike.
Well, a few things. Number one, Babcock will not do that.
No, I know he won't, but I'm mad that he won't. Freddie's a great goalie. Freddie's an absolutely amazing goalie. You're playing him into the ground like you were 2 years ago. I just think you have him. He put up unbelievable numbers in the AHL. You need to play him more for him to get NHL experience. That's just my opinion on the whole thing. I don't like how people are ripping on Garrett Sparks when he hasn't had an actual shot. You throw him in. If you don't play for 2 weeks and you throw him in a game, what do you think's going to happen?
Well,
to a young goalie.
But that's the problem. Garrett Sparks should have never been in this lineup to start the year. And the fact that he is, I mean, clearly, I'm assuming Mike Babcock doesn't like having Garrett Sparks there as a backup. I assume he would have loved to have Curtis McElhinney instead.
Agreed.
But the move was made by Dubas, and that's the one move that I look at him and I'm like, that is not what I like to see.
But McElhinney is older. He's going to probably play, 1 more year, 2 years of reasonable hockey?
You look at his age, his number, and then you're like, oh, he's done. Do you look at his play?
It's going to happen.
He ain't slowing down.
It's going to happen.
He has 1 year. He had 1 year left on his contract.
I would not be shocked if Curtis McElhinney retires at the end of this year with the Carolina Hurricanes. I would not be surprised.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how he's even doing.
He's doing terrible.
Yeah, well.
So he's not doing good. Calvin Pickard isn't doing good. So it's not like those 2 goalies are lighting other teams up, right? So
look.
No, but we have to think about the scenarios here, and I just think that Garrett Sparks isn't good. Yes, he's not. He's not good. He's flopping around.
He's not a good goaltender. I'm sorry.
Well, no, okay.
I'm sorry. He's
but
not.
I don't think we haven't seen enough of him on the Leafs to say that.
I have seen enough to know that. Look,
when
when you are not positionally sound and you are flopping all over the place, it might work in the AHL when players don't have pinpoint accuracy. But you look at that goal. Well, sorry, the first goal, the Patrice Bergeron tip-in. That's a puck that Garrett Sparks has. It's along the ice the entire time. Second goal. Pasternak, remember that light show above his head?
No, not yet.
He didn't come across in time, and then he tried to bang it in with his head. Look, if you're a sound goaltender, you go post to post. That's in his chest or off his face mask, and not a goal.
I get it.
The last goal by Nordstrom, it comes down the right wing and he just slides it 5-hole on him. Those are 3 of those 5 goals in that game.
I hear you.
And should not have gone in.
And why would he get more starts if he's playing like this in a game? I hear you.
Agreed.
But look at Freddie Anderson when he was splitting starts with John Gibson. They split the starts, and look what Freddie Anderson was become. Freddie Anderson, when he split starts with John Gibson, he was around Garrett Sparks' age. I think a bit older, to be honest with you. And the fact of the matter is that you don't know really what you have. AHL is the AHL, But being the AHL goaltender of the year when you're 24 years of age, that could say something.
You could also say that the Marlies team was pretty damn good too. So you could also say that. But I look at. I don't know if Evan's trying to tell me that Anderson and Sparks are supposed to split starts like down the middle like Gibson and Anderson did back in Anaheim. If that's the case, I think that's a ridiculous move because we're here to win games. The Leafs are in this league. The Leafs are more or less going to be going into the playoffs as a winning team. And if we're here just trying to develop a goalie, like, come on. No. I'm not here to sit here and say, oh, we want to develop Garrett Sparks. We want to do this. No. This Leafs team is win now.
Yeah.
And you want to put your best players out there every single night when you have a chance. Back-to-backs, fine. Put out your backup goaltender. That's what McElhinney did. He was successful at it. Freddie Anderson had a great year the last 2 years. He's been great. And we can't say that he dwindled out. Because, look, the team sucked behind in front of him.
I don't know. I just don't think that you can get hot as a goaltender or actually show potential when you're getting one start every 3 weeks.
Are you telling me that you want Garrett Sparks and Anderson to split like Gibson and
no,
Anderson back
no,
then?
No. I didn't say split. I said give him, okay, so there's 82 games in a season. Freddie Anderson, I don't know, can start 50-55.
That's almost half. 41 games is halfway.
You have a goaltender. Listen, if Garrett Sparks is struggling on the regular and you're giving him regular starts, okay, you may not have something. But I'm gonna bang the drum. You can't expect a goaltender to be amazing when the guy hasn't played in 2 weeks.
But this team, no,
it's a win now, and I get it. And if you throw him out there for, like I said, 30 starts, you're probably gonna be, you're losing a lot.
So then why are we doing it then?
Because you want to have a good goaltender. Because that's the thing. We don't know if he's going to lose if you throw him in for 30 starts. We don't know.
Are you going to run that risk, though?
Well, I think
Let's say you lose 20 of those games. Are you expecting Freddie to go run the table and be perfect?
You wouldn't run it if you put him in there for, I don't know, let's just say that they play 10 games. You start him for 5, you start Freddie for 5.
Look, the way this Leafs defense core is and how we've all said this Leafs defense core is terrible, and then you're throwing out a goalie like that on a consistent basis who is not positionally a good goaltender.
I don't know. I just think that any back-to-back, if you don't play him on a regular and you just throw him in on back-to-back games, he's going to lose. Because you're not playing him enough for him to get hot.
All right, well, you know what? We're gonna get a chance to see if your theory is right, because the Leafs play the Sharks tonight and they play the Ducks tomorrow.
Okay.
So we're going to see Garrett Sparks probably tomorrow against the Anaheim Ducks. If he goes out there tomorrow and he does not play well, that is back-to-back games in a week. He's played 2 games in a week.
In a week, mind you, it is 2 games. I'm not trying to defend Garrett
Freddie
Sparks,
Anderson's
but
played what? If he'll play tonight, so they've basically split starts last week.
So you're comparing Freddie Anderson to Garrett Sparks?
No, I'm just saying that you're saying, it's only 2 starts, and I'm like,
for Garrett Sparks.
Yeah, but if Anderson would have had 2 starts in that period as well,
that's Freddie Anderson. This is Garrett Sparks.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, look, you want to see more of Garrett Sparks. If he goes out there tomorrow against the Ducks and does not play well...
He has less of an excuse now, I'll give you that, but at the same time, I think we're overreacting a bit, because McElhinney on Carolina isn't doing well. Picard sucks. So, I could see if they're tearing it up, but they're not, and I don't know, but let's move on to the New Jersey game, because we looked good. We look great.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because the last 3 games were losing 6-1 or 5-1, whatever. Winning 5-1. No, was that New Jersey?
They won 6-1 in New Jersey.
We played Pittsburgh on Saturday. Who do we face after Pittsburgh?
You lost, didn't they?
No,
they beat Vegas 2-1, I think it was.
Oh, it was Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was New Jersey before. Oh, my bad. Okay, so it was Pittsburgh on Saturday, then Vegas, and then obviously LA, right? I think so.
I think that's how. Then Boston. The loss.
Hold on. Sorry. Last Saturday we faced Boston, right?
Yeah.
We lost 6-1.
So you faced. Hold on, where are we here? They played LA on Tuesday. You played Boston on Saturday. Then you played New Jersey in the front half of a back-to-back, winning 6-1. Yeah. Then you played Vegas and won 3-1, and then the Pittsburgh game, winning 5-0.
Okay.
So if I'm not mistaken, the Leafs have won 1, 2, 3. So 4 of their last 5 games.
Well, the inconsistency is what I don't really like.
And I'm sorry. This is why that old Garrett Sparks-Anderson situation. Freddie Anderson was in there for the 5-1 win, had gave up 1 goal. Garrett Sparks was in there for the 5-1 loss. 6-1, New Jersey. Freddie was in for that, gave up 1 goal. Vegas, Freddie was in there, 1 goal. Pittsburgh, Freddie was in there, shutout.
No, I don't know why you're still comparing. I know.
Because Garrett Sparks should not be playing right now. Freddie Anderson is playing the best hockey of his career right now.
So you would consider him to be he's hot. I understand that. You ride with a hot hand, but you don't want to overwork your starting goaltender. Because what happens if you overwork him and he gets injured? Because that first year of No. I'm asking you. If you overwork him and you're playing him, play him 65, 70 games again. What happens if he gets hurt? That multiplies you being injured if you overwork a goaltender.
This Leafs team,
what happens?
Wants home ice in the playoffs. You could probably agree with me in that sense that we want home ice. You throw Garrett Sparks out for 20, 25 games this year, you are not going to be getting home ice. The Bruins are a good team. The Lightning are a good team. You will not be getting it. And we'll be in the same situation as we were last year.
But how can you say that when we haven't seen enough of Garrett Sparks? We saw 3 games. Yes.
He was terrible in his first stint, which was a while ago, and it was only a couple games, so you can't, it's really whatever there. But then he came up here. Look, his AHL numbers are fantastic.
He won a second.
We have seen this in countless occasions with a ton of NHL players where they're great in the AHL and terrible in the NHL. Look at Ben Scrivens. Look at Justin Pogge. Look at guys like that who had great AHL careers and then were nowhere to be found in the NHL.
Those 2 guys were older than Garrett Sparks in the Marlies. Yes, they were.
Okay, a couple years difference.
Okay, I'm just saying though.
Look at Jack Campbell. Right? I mean, he's had an all right start to this year. He
wasn't good in the AHL. He was drafted high. That's why they were.
I'm just saying. Look, in the AHL, flopping around works. When you're on a great team, that helps too.
Personally, I just think that we haven't seen enough to give the definitive answer that he's a bad goaltender. We haven't. 3 games is 3 games.
Well, and he'll be playing. He'll be playing on. The Leafs actually don't play this Saturday.
That's shocking.
They play Thursday and Friday on the road. Garrett Sparks will probably be playing on Friday against the Ducks, so we will all wait and see what happens there.
With a struggling Ducks team. So he's not playing tonight, but he's playing
an 8-9-3 Ducks team. So I mean, you can't give any excuse. Well, he was playing a good team, like people were against the Bruins. Yeah. So don't give me that. And goals against of 4 and an 879 save. It's only 3 games. I get it, but not very good.
No, it's not. And I think Leaf fans have to chill with the whole we should have kept McElhinney thing. We should have did this. We should have done that. Listen, we're looking for the future, and with McElhinney, his age is showing on Carolina. They have the better defense core, and he's not performing, right? So I don't know. It's a topic that is obviously a big question mark with the Leafs, and it still is. But we just know that we are we're 12 in.
12 and 6.
Okay, enough with the Freddie
I'm just saying.
bit.
Look at the numbers: 202 and a 934.
You're showing me that Freddie Anderson is a good goalie. I know he's a good goalie.
He's playing the best of his career.
I understand
and
that.
We're saying let Garrett Sparks.
I just explained why. I know. I just explained to you why I think that he should get more starts.
Okay, the last thing I'm going to say on it, because you were talking about how we're overworking. Anderson has done this now for 2 seasons. I think the overworking bit is done because of the fact of he has gone through it already twice. This is not new for him now. This is not like, he's getting tired.
I'm not saying it's not new for him. I'm saying that you multiply a chance of an injury by at least.
Yeah, but you have an injury. Come on, are we going to play math when it comes to injuries and stuff? An injury can happen at any point. Garrett Sparks can go out there Friday.
No, I get it, injured. I get it, but you multiply that. You have to multiply it if you overwork a goaltender.
So is that, dude? Yeah, okay. Austin Matthews, or we're gonna sit some guys because the chance of them getting hurt is smaller. Like I don't know why.
No, you don't sit a forward because a goaltender has a higher workload than a forward. I think we can both agree on that.
It is 18 games into the year. Freddie Anderson has played 15 games. We can't start talking about that kind of stuff.
No, because like you just said, it's only 18 games. He played 15 games. It's 15 games out of 18, but it's only 15. Come back to me when he plays 55, 60 games.
That's fine. That's the way he should be. He's done it for 2 years.
Okay.
It's nothing new to him now.
Well, hey, we're only going to see, right? But I think that with any great goaltender, they need breaks. And that's what a backup's for. So, with that being said, is there any news around the league you want to talk about? Is there anything? Because let's talk about the Tom Wilson situation. Oh, and Joe Quenneville. Oh, this is going to be a long segment. You know what? Whatever. So the Blackhawks fired Joe Quenneville after I think it was like 10 seasons or something.
Yeah, it was a long time. Bottom line, in that obviously crazy career of his, winning all those cups.
Was this the right move?
I mean, it's a quick trigger. I do think so. Obviously, missing the playoffs last year and the sluggish start to the season. You just have to look at the team, though. Yeah. It's
not his fault. Like, the team, mind you, the Blackhawks were a dynasty. Great things fall. Look at the Kings, right? So, I don't think this was the best move. Yet, they do have someone around Kyle Dubas' age. I think he's like 31, 32 coach. So, that's the only thing I can see. Okay, maybe it'll work out for them, but I don't like this move at all for the Blackhawks.
It's a really risky and bold statement right away. Now, ideally, this could have been Joel Quenneville's thought too.
No, he got fired. He didn't resign.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the fact that maybe he thought his time was up. I don't know, because maybe it was a mutual agreement. Knowing what Stan Bowman and...
Well, it would say mutual agreement. No, he got fired. Listen, I don't think Joel Quenneville wanted to leave the Blackhawks organization.
Of course he didn't. But remember, he's getting up there, and he probably wants some time off. He wants a break. So now he'll be another coach in the league at one point, but I don't think he'll be a coach this year or next year even, just for the fact that he might take some time off.
Personally, I think that this is another panic move by Stan Bowman.
Agreed.
Just like the Saad for Panarin trade, which has to be...
There goes the bandwagoners. They're gone. That's it.
Which has to be one of the worst trades in the last 10 years. You trade away Panarin, who's a 75, 80-point guy, for Brendan Saad, who's been scratched the last couple games. And then you traded Nick Halmerson for Ryan Murphy, or Connor Murphy.
The reason, I was shocked about the Panarin trade because he was working out so well.
I know. It was the first round.
People liked Brendan Saad in Chicago, but Panarin was kicking everyone's rear end.
With Patty Kane, you try to get the band back together. It didn't work. You brought back Patrick Sharp. He retired a year later. Nashville got to you.
Would we want the Leafs to trade for JVR back? Not really.
No, but you don't see the Leafs. Oh, another first round exit for the Leafs. You don't see us panicking.
No, because we have the young core. I mean, they're obviously getting up there a little bit.
But I'm just saying, if they had Panarin, they would be doing way better.
Oh, for sure. The bread band, of course. Yeah. Not to go around the league a little bit. Sidney Crosby, out with an injury, could miss a week. Andrei Vasilevsky sent back to Tampa to be reevaluated for his lower body injury. It doesn't look too good for Andrei Vasilevsky, the Tampa Bay goaltender, and their backup situation. Not very good for them. James Van Riemsdyk, after a 16-game absence, is finally back with a flex. And isn't that crazy? Yeah. Obviously, his career started with Philly, and he couldn't stay healthy.
In Philly.
Then he gets traded to the Leafs.
He's been fine.
For Luke Schenn, and he was healthy for the most part here. And then he goes to Philly, and in his first 2 games, back to Philly, he gets injured again for 16.
Well, maybe that means Win Simmons is on the block.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Let's talk about the Tom Wilson, because that's a big thing. Tom Wilson's suspension has been reduced, I think 4 games. It was 20.
It's down to 14, but he's back now, obviously, because he already served.
Oh no, hold on. So it was 20 games before, and now it was 14.
It got reduced to 14, and he's back
6
now.
Okay, so it got reduced to by 6 games. Right. What's your take on that?
I think it's look. We already had this discussion about what we thought of the hit, what we thought about all that, and look. 20 games is a lot of games. Now, I understand Wilson has done this before, and I understand that it's a big thing in the NHL, and they want to get rid of that type of garbage. I get it. Mm-hmm. However, I think maybe reducing it 6 games is quite a bit. I can't see. I don't think it's a disgrace. I don't think it's anything too ridiculous.
I don't think they should have cracked, but I'm with you. It's not a huge deal. But
the fact he's already served 16. They reduced it to 14, but he's already missed 16 out of the 20 games. So
I think it was mainly on the money thing, because he got back. I think it it was $30,000 or something like that. But he lost a lot of money,
Right.
In those 14 games. So, and hey, in his first game back, he got a goal in a fight. So,
and the last thing I'm going to say, Josh Morrissey to have a hearing for taking down TJ Oshie. I'm gonna show you live right here the video of, I guess, what happened there last night against Winnipeg. He kind of
it looked like Winnipeg. The guy threw him down. It looked like the Winnipeg.
It's kind of risky. I mean, you think about someone's head.
It looked like Josh Morrissey threw him down.
Yeah, he did. That's why it says takedown, right? Josh Morrissey to have hearing for Oshie takedown.
Oshie takedown. Okay, yeah.
So that's what do you think? Quick time suspension or no?
No. I think he'll get. I don't even know fined. I don't think
he gets suspension for that. But it is a risky hit. Like, what if Oshie hits the back of his head and right?
I mean, it wasn't the hit; it was just the takedown, like you say.
Agreed. But it's a very risky takedown. You throw some guy down like that on his back with his head on the ice.
True.
Look, it's risky.
I don't think.
At the very worst, he's probably going to get one game. At the very worst,
yeah.
I think he'll probably get a fine, but I don't think he's going to get suspended. But if he does, it's probably one game. Last thing here, Ducks. Cam Fowler's had him with facial fracture, and Zdeno Chara exits with a lower body injury yesterday.
Chara, I think that was a knee injury, so that doesn't help Big Z at all. Let's move on to the Raptors, to the court, and a heartbreaking loss last night against the Detroit Pistons, 106-104. Dwayne Casey, in his return to Toronto, had the last laugh.
That was not pretty.
No, it wasn't, and we were up at one point by almost 20.
Yeah.
So
to see that fourth quarter lead dwindle away fast, and the Raptors not able to counteract, and I think it's the last two plays of the game, I think, what really got a lot of Raptor fans angry, and I hate Raptor. Look. Raptor fans quite frustrate me at times because I'm seeing yesterday and I'm seeing this morning Raptor fans just ripping Kawhi Leonard apart for, what the heck was that all about? Kawhi was terrible, blah, blah, blah. Look, Kawhi Leonard did get you 26 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists on 10 of 18 shooting. He had 3 steals as well. He was good, all right? The fact that he screwed up on that last play, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
You also got to fault the rest of the team for not being able to score in that fourth quarter as well. And also, are we gonna want Kawhi Leonard back next year? Is that how? This is not how we win guys over, people.
And plus, guys, we're 12-3. It's not like this was a do or die playoff game. Us Raptor fans are beginning to get a little bit greedy now, but I'm not. Like you said in your video, I'm mad about how the game ended. I'm not mad with the Raptors per se.
I'm not mad about the loss. I'm just mad about the way it ended.
Oh yeah,
the fact that Kawhi, had a chance to win it with 10 seconds left, dribbles down the floor and just loses it out of bounds. If he didn't lose it out of bounds, he was going to take a shot,
but maybe he would have missed.
And it would have at least gone to overtime.
Right.
Instead, he loses the ball out of bounds. 2 seconds left. And who's inbounding the play? Oh, of course, Jose Calderon. Of course it's going to be him.
He's still in the lead now?
Yeah, he's over there now in Detroit, and he inbounds the ball. They go for like the alley-oop kind of thing. Siakam blocks him. Still 1.8 left. Calderon inbounds it again, and they get the buzzer beater to win.
Who got it? Wasn't it? Was it Stanley Johnson?
I think it was. Or was it? I think you're right. I think it was Stanley Johnson.
Or was it Ish Smith?
I'm pretty sure it was Stanley Johnson. But nonetheless, no matter who it was, Reggie Bullock.
Okay.
Reggie Bullock. But no matter what. It makes Raptor fans a lot. It hurts them a lot. And look, and I just don't like how Raptor fans are trying to eat Kawhi right now. Because look, OG Anunoby was 3 of 12 from the field. Fred VanVleet 2 of 8. DeLon Wright 0 of 4. Malachi Richardson, when he went in there, 0 of 2. Your bench wasn't good. Your starters were pretty good. Siakam at 17, Leonard 26, JV 14, Lowry 14, 7 and 7. All 3 guys shot over 50%. Or sorry, all 4 guys shot over 5%.
So you're asking too much for Kawhi at this point. But like you said before, the ball's in his hands. He messed up. Calderon inbounded it.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yep.
Apparently twice. And then they scored on the last play, and Dwayne Casey gets his first win in Toronto.
Look, I know the reason why it hurts so much, and like I said in the video, and I'll say it again, I'm not mad about the loss. I'm just mad about how the way it ended. Look, if we won, I would have been ecstatic, but I still would have been angry because of the way they played. But the fact that Kawhi lost the ball out of bounds, and it wasn't a steal, it wasn't really anything. He just I think he bounced off his foot or something, and it went out of bounds. That sucks. Yeah. The fact that Jose Calderon is inbounding the ball twice. And the fact that Coach Casey beats the Raptors in Toronto.
Yeah. And man, he had a big old smile on his face.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't he?
So
let's talk about Pascal.
That's the reason. That's the reason
okay.
we're all upset. But let's move
now
on.
Let's talk about P skills. Pascal Siakam, because he is unbelievable.
NBA Player of the Week last week. Fantastic.
Let's just see this guy's numbers here quickly. He was averaging.
He was averaging under 13 last time we checked.
It was 12 something.
Yeah, he's averaging 14.1 points a game, 6.5 rebounds. He's shooting 64% from the field, 76% from the free throw line, and his 3-point percentage is going up. It's up to 33%.
He's an unbelievable player. Now, 2 losses in the last 3 games, or was it in 3 games? Back-to-back games.
And the problem is another reason why this game hurts so much. You go to TD Garden.
This is a winnable game. Mind you, Boston isn't playing good at all, but...
It doesn't matter. I don't care. The Boston Celtics, they have the weapons to beat you. I don't care what the record is.
So, and this was a trap game. Like you say, it was a trap game. You're looking forward to Boston in Boston. You still got to face the Detroit Pistons at home.
I think a lot of Raptor players were looking forward to doing Casey. I don't think this was a trap game. I think the game before against the Pelicans, I think that was a trap game.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
Defensively, they weren't good. You know what? I had to give credit to the Pelicans. They shot 54%. They had 126 points. Raptors' defense was abysmal. Look, the last 2 games, the Raptors have not played well at all.
At all.
Their third and fourth quarter offense in both games had not been good. You score, what is it in this game here? 61 points in the first half in the Pelicans game. You score a total of 49.
This is only a handful of times where AD is playing in Toronto because
it hasn't been often.
Well, the Pelicans haven't come to Toronto often, but when they do, he's been hurt. So that could be a factor too, where we haven't seen enough of AD.
Sure,
pretty much one of the best big men in the league. I would think so.
And then yesterday, like we said, they scored 65 points in the first half. They score a combined 39 in the second half.
The one thing I could see looking forward to Boston's on play. Gordon Hayward's coming off the bench.
He's playing awful. Yeah, well. He's playing so bad. The Boston Celtics are 8-6 guys, but playing in TD Garden, it's not easy.
Well, we beat them in the home opener at was it? No. This was. I think this was last year. Didn't we face them in Boston and we won?
This year, no. We've only played them once.
It's probably last year then, maybe. I don't know, but he's been playing terrible, and
he's shooting 39% from the field, 31% from 3. He's averaging 10 a game, but I mean it's because he's chucking up some shots.
But like I said before, he's bound to bounce back, I think. Now, let's talk about something not really Raptors related, but I'm gonna make it into Raptors related. Question for you. And to the people listening, has Carmelo Anthony played his last game in the NBA? I don't believe so.
See, it's a weird situation for Melo because if he goes out now, he
ends off on a sour note.
He does, but if he plays and he still doesn't play well, it's going to end even worse. So he's in a really awkward situation. The only team I could see him going to would probably be the Lakers, just because of the scenario.
If you're the Raptors, would you try to take a flyer on him? No.
What would Carmelo do to this team? He's not great in the locker room, as we all know.
No. Yeah.
And this team's locker room chemistry as the Raptors is pretty darn good.
Yeah. So you wouldn't.
So why would you want to throw in Carmelo Anthony?
I'm just thinking of the addition of Jimmy Butler to the Sixers, and then maybe get some firepower.
And we talked about it in the last podcast about will that chemistry work. They just lost to the Orlando Magic last night, 111-106 in Orlando. Yeah.
It's hard to say because okay, so let's just step away from the Raptors situation. Do you think he's played his last game in the NBA? Let's just stay on the Carmelo Anthony front.
I don't think so. I don't think he's played the last game in the NBA. I think he's had his last big shot. Me too. But I don't think he's done totally.
No, I don't think so either. Hall of Famer? That's tough.
That is tough. Oh boy. I don't know. That's
tough.
I mean, he's definitely capable of it, but I don't know. It's
I've been saying this. He's like the Des Bryant of the NBA. He was a great, unbelievable player. But he drop off hard. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
There's probably a lot of other guys that deserve it more.
But
I
don't think so.
I think Dwayne Wade gets it over him.
Oh yeah.
There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Not only with the championships, but the consistency and the way he, in his later years, he was still.
Mind you, we're talking about Manu Ginobili getting in, I would think Carmelo Anthony would get
in over him. I do believe so with that. Manu was great for years and years and years, and he is a little bit older.
But I think that we're just looking at him staying with one team and him just being a classy guy.
But I don't know if a classy guy gets into the Hall of Fame.
It does.
I mean, I don't know if
it doesn't. Him being off the bench a lot and six man and whatnot. But
let's get back to the whole Jimmy Butler situation here. And yesterday he only had 14 points in 33 minutes there. And
so not
with
terrible.
That being said, and Butler
being a fiery guy.
No, with Butler being the starter now, that pushed Markelle Fultz out. Now, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yep.
With the addition of Jimmy Butler, do you think Markelle Fultz's tenure with the 76ers is slowly coming to an end?
I thought his tenure with the Sixers before Butler came was coming to an end. Listen, Markelle Fultz, he's young. He can develop
20.
into the first overall pick he was meant to be. I think the 76ers were fed up with him after this summer. After him working on his jump shot, and it's still not transitioning after working a whole summer on it, well supposedly.
See, that's why he's 20 years old. What are they expecting?
But listen, a jump shot?
Yeah, no.
Look at Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. His jump shot was weird. He was a second overall pick. He's not a superstar. Markelle Fultz, I don't think he's ever going to be a superstar. I think the 76ers got to unload on him. I really think so.
I do believe that his tenure is done there. I think he'll go to a team that will accept him for what he is and as a project and go from there.
I think the perfect spot would be the Brooklyn Nets. They need
the younger players.
And look, they took a flyer on D'Lo. He's been good. They took a flyer on Anthony Bennett. Obviously, that didn't work out.
Speaking of the Brooklyn Nets, all prayers go up to Chris LeVert. Terrible injury.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
I mean, it reminds us all of the Gordon Hayward injury.
Or even Kevin Weir. Was it that bad? Or where?
That's the guy. I was talking to some people at work about that injury, and they couldn't figure out who it was. But
Kevin Weir.
That injury.
Well, no, listen, I don't think anything's going to be that horrific.
No.
Don't show me it.
No, I'm finding the Chris LeVert one.
Yeah, don't show me that one.
I honestly, I just want to see it.
Okay,
so I'm just gonna quickly bring it up here.
Just start the advertisement.
Yeah, stupid ad.
Just skip it.
So
which one's Chris LeVert?
There he's there. No, there he's down there. No, where is he?
Well, he's on Brooklyn, so he's probably
that's 27 right there.
He goes up.
Oh no, I think his leg is not having fun.
Oh yeah. I see it. Okay. But that was more in his calf, or no, in his
bottom
thigh.
line. Horrific injury. With that looking the way it did,
prayers go out
his
to him.
Injury will probably keep him out the rest of the season. That kid was having some type of season so far.
Yeah. Again, I would just say prayers out to him, and I think Markelle Fultz's tenure, like you said, is done.
Yeah,
he's not good. Did you see his
free throw shots?
It looks like Chuck Hayes'.
Yeah, Chuck Hayes is bad.
So you're comparing to Chuck Hayes.
All right, so anyways, we're going to move on from that whole Chuck Hayes talk. That's the first time we've ever mentioned him on the podcast. It's probably the only time.
Shout out to Chuck Hayes.
Yeah, why not?
We should have him on the podcast.
So let's get back to the Raptors real quick here.
Yep.
And as we said, they take on the Boston Celtics on the road. But then on a back-to-back, you go to Chicago. I mean, look, Chicago, they're a team that's 4-11 this year. Not very good. But we know the Raptors' record in Chicago in years past.
It's not the greatest.
So you're playing a back-to-back in Boston, and then you go to Chicago, and I'm trying to see if they go to Orlando, they go to Atlanta, and then
so not really Washington. A tough schedule. I think
these
that
first two games
you would rest Kawhi against the Bulls. I'm guessing.
Well, here we go again. They're on a back-to-back, Boston and Chicago. Is Kawhi Leonard going to play both?
Usually he doesn't, though.
Well, but they will at some point try and swindle him into both games. Will that start happening now?
If they struggle against Boston and they lose against Boston, I think he will play against Chicago. If they win against Boston and they blow him out or even win, I think they rest him against Chicago. A 4-11 Chicago Bulls team, I think they rest him. If we don't lose against
Zach
Boston.
LaVine's averaging almost 26 a game.
Oh, no, Zach LaVine's a good player. Other than that, who they have? Lauri Markkanen?
He's injured, actually, I think.
I mean, they have Bobby Portis, who was good. Never mind.
Chris Dunn, he's hurt, too. They really don't have how's Wendell Carter Jr. doing on them?
How's Jabari Parker?
Averaging 11.5 a game.
How's Jabari Parker?
He is 14-7. Yeah, he's
That's
playing
good.
pretty well.
He still hasn't broken out as a player, and I think he
He's
will.
averaging almost 15 a game. It's not terrible.
No, it's not that terrible.
Considering he missed almost all last year. Really.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to move around the league? Well, I guess we were doing that, really. Who knows, really? Yeah.
I'm just trying to looking around here.
Oh, do you want to talk about the Draymond Green and
Draymond Green? Yeah. We'll talk about Draymond Green and that whole fiasco with Kevin Durant about Draymond Green not passing the ball.
Which is annoying because I saw the clip, you saw the clip. Multiple people were open. He tried to drive it and he got blocked or something. Or he
got stripped of the ball, but there's only like 5 seconds left on the clock. And I don't know why he's trying to drive up.
Obviously, Kevin Durant giving it to him on the bench and Draymond Green kind of getting a little personal. Saying
and Boogie Cousins tries to take him away and talk to him. I mean,
like what like
buddy, you're the guy who gets the most technicals in the game. Like, who are you telling people to calm down?
Now, obviously, Draymond Green got suspended.
Draymond Green
got suspended 1 game.
And I don't know if that was the right move.
I don't think so.
Because that just puts so much more attention on the situation than it needed to be.
But you do want to take action to something that was pretty question. And like I said before, Green did get personal with about the free agency thing.
Sitting for rest could be an option, and using that as a thing, and be like, okay, well, they're just going to rest, and they're not. I know it would have looked bad. I know, but you're not saying anything.
But
the fact that they said suspension, they're suspending him for a game and a fine as well.
I think you should have fined and then just, like you said, rest.
You know what that tells me? That whole situation. The Golden State Warriors trying to kiss Kevin Durant's feet to keep him around. Well, because Draymond Green talks the way he feels.
Who would you rather have?
And he gets suspended. No, I know, but you don't do that to you're basically telling Draymond Green, yeah, we're not going to have you, but we're going to have this guy.
No, but
next year.
Right, but I don't think Kevin Durant had really anything to do with the fact that Draymond Green started this whole thing.
Agreed, but the fact that they were arguing with each other, and I don't know what the feeling is like towards those two guys, but the way they have reacted, the Golden State Warriors reacted to it by suspending Draymond and fining him for talking on the bench to Kevin Durant a little bit heated.
No.
That's a big thing.
For that, and apparently on the bus, too, he was repeatedly calling him bitch, and just getting really personal with him. And I don't think Kevin Durant was really saying anything back to him. That's the reason why.
I just think they're trying to kiss his feet to have him back next year.
I would, too.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm sorry, I would, too. Draymond Green isn't nearly the player Kevin Durant is.
Agreed. On the offensive standpoint, I totally agree with you in that. LeBron James passes Wilt Chamberlain on 5th on the all-time scoring list.
I know it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar first, Michael Jordan second, and actually Karl Malone.
Yeah.
So he's 4th now. Or no, he's 5th. Who's 4th?
Yeah, I don't really know.
Probably the Big E.
The Big E.
Alvin Hayes. Probably.
That's really about it, though.
Yeah, so, I mean, let's just get into, I guess, Blue Jays, and there's really nothing going on.
I think the one thing we can talk about when it comes to the baseball is the awards. That was all done, I think it was all finished yesterday.
Doesn't really mean anything, but we'll talk about it.
Well, no, we got to go around the league, though, if we can. If we have nothing Jays to talk about. Let's go through this here. I'm going to try and find them here. So the MVPs actually have not been done yet. So let's go through that first. And there's big dilemmas with all of them.
Are we talking about the rookie or the MVP? Okay,
MVP.
We'll put your phone down a second.
So the 3 are Mookie Betts, Jose Ramirez on the Cleveland Indians, and Mike Trout. Now, and a lot of people are very angry that JD Martinez didn't get in there, but that's just Boston fans saying, oh, we should have 2 MVP candidates.
Well, numbers don't lie. And
Mookie Betts almost hit 350 this year.
I think JD Martinez should have been at least nominated.
Well,
Mike Trout's always there.
Mike Trout's always amazing.
I would think that, I mean, it's hard not to go with somebody that won the World Series in Mookie Betts.
And plus his numbers were off the charts. I think it's either Mookie Betts or Mike Trout.
Vote for that right now.
I think it's Mookie Betts or Mike Trout. I really truly believe that.
I think so, but
Mike Trout's always going to be in there.
Has Mookie Betts ever won it? I don't think so.
No.
And Mike Trout's won it before, obviously.
Yes, he has.
So I think Mookie Betts deserves it.
And let's go to the National League here. And the 3 winners or nominees, Nolan Arenado, Javier Baez, and Christian Yelich.
I think Christian Yelich.
Yeah, Christian Yelich is no question. I mean,
well,
the numbers he put up were incredible, and I think the way he played in the playoffs was pretty good too. Kind of dried up in that series against the Dodgers, but was overall MVP caliber season. He deserves it.
Now, Rookie of the Year. That hasn't been announced or hasn't been announced?
Well, I'm actually going to go through this here.
I think it has because I know it was between Ronald Acuna Jr. and I know it was Korean or something.
So Jacob deGrom won the Cy Young Award he was a unanimous vote in the Cy Young for the National League. You know, his team was terrible, so wins don't really suggest how he actually pitched. I'm going to his stats here, and I'm just going to see how ridiculously amazing they were. Like anything like below a 3 ERA for a pitcher is amazing. Yeah. His ERA was 1.7. Oh, he was a 10 and he won 10 games. He was a 10 and he had a winning record on a team that was like the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
But he was 10-9. He had 269 strikeouts. He was incredible. He only walked 46 guys. He was incredible. He definitely deserves a Cy Young, no question about that. Blake Snell won the Cy Young for the American League over Justin Verlander. And again, I think the way he pitched against the Blue Jays, I was like, this guy. There's no way this guy can't be a Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah.
I'm just going to his stats now here. Blake Snell, there he is. Oh, no, that's not him. Blake Snell and an ERA of, where is he here? 1.89, 21-5. I mean,
so the Rays just threw him out there every game, pretty much.
It's what it felt like, but I mean,
well, if you're the Tampa Bay Rays, you'd probably do it.
Probably, but both guys well-deserved Cy Young Award winners. Look, Verlander had a great year, but Blake Snell was just that much better, and deGrom, there's no question about it. He was a Cy Young Award winner in the National League. Now let's go to, I think where are the other awards here?
It was rookie, wasn't it? Rookie.
No, did they? Yes, they did actually do.
I know Ronald Acuna Jr. was there, and then the guy on the Angels.
Here, I'm just going to find out all the awards on here. I'm just going to look them up.
Yeah, no problem. Personally, Vladdy has a shot of...
Oh, next year?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I can't see why not.
Is there any other good young guys coming up next year?
Well, we're going to have to wait and see.
Oh, yeah.
I think there are
I guess
some.
You don't know off the top of your
So there's the
head.
Cy Young Award winners in Blake Snell and Jacob deGrom. Rookie of the Year goes to... Ooh, wow, okay. So the... Shohei Ohtani won the Rookie of the Year.
That's shocking.
In the American League. Now, I understand he's a pitcher and a hitter. I get that.
But at the same time.
He had a 3.31 ERA, but then he had elbow trouble. He was gone. He only had 2.85. You look, honestly, I really do believe that Gleyber Torres in New York should have won it over him. The fact that he didn't, that's remained to be seen. I mean,
well,
kind of
the
shocked
Mets
about that.
The Mets, right? Or no, the Yankees? Who was that guy you were just talking about?
Gleyber Torres on the Yankees.
Oh, on the Yankees. Okay.
And in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr., as all expected, he definitely deserved the Rookie of the Year, hitting 26 home runs.
You know what's weird? Why don't they just do a league-wide like MVP or award? Like, why do they have to do NL and AL? Like, why can't?
Because it is two different leagues. One league has pitchers hit, right? So it's the stats kind of
look
skewed.
Why? Well, why?
I don't know. We're not going to get into that damn discussion. Manager of the Year awards. Now this is actually a really interesting question and a really interesting thing here. Now, first things first. Brian Snitker for the Atlanta Braves won it, and that's rightfully so. I mean, going from a team that's a bottom-feeding team to end up winning the division the next year, definitely deserved that. American League. Bob Melvin of the Oakland Athletics won it. Now, we know about their run and how they got into the wild card spot, and that was great. That was a great job by them. But Alex Cora for the Boston Red Sox won the World Series in his first year. Now, he did have a better team.
I think it's because of the payroll, like you say, with Oakland having such a low payroll. It was a surprise for anybody that they even made the wild card. So,
yeah.
I think this is, like you say, it could have been Boston, but I think with Bob Melvin, it was
Roberto Clemente Award, of course, was named to the so obviously Yadier Molina on the St. Louis Cardinals won that.
Yeah.
The Hank Aaron Awards go to JD Martinez and Christian Yelich. JD Martinez, he got an award, so there you go.
Well,
you can keep everyone quiet.
Hank Aaron still has the most home runs, right? Ever? Or no,
Barry Bonds.
But that doesn't count in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
Because steroids.
Yeah. Well,
so I guess it's just Hank Aaron.
Executive of the Year goes to Billy Beane of the Oakland A's. So there you go. And then the Gold Glovers. You want to run through that real quick or no?
Do you want
me to do it? Or do you want to do it?
Nah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll do it then. So the American League, Salvador Perez won another one. First base, Oakland A's Matt Olson won it. Second base, Ian Kinsler of the Red Sox. Very interesting there. Matt Chapman of the Oakland A's won at third base. So Oakland had two infielders win it. Andrelton Simmons of the Angels, no question about it. That guy's a ridiculous shortstop. Alex Gordon of the Royals. Jackie Bradley Jr. of the Red Sox, Mookie Betts of the Red Sox, and Dallas Keuchel of the Astros. That's all of the American League. Yeah, that thing is beautiful. In the National League, Yadier Molina won again. Freddie Freeman won, and Anthony Rizzo. They tied. That is interesting. DJ LeMahieu of the Colorado Rockies, Nolan Arenado of the Rockies, Nick Ahmed of the Diamondbacks, Corey Dickerson of the Pirates, Ender Inciarte of the Braves, Nick Markakis of the Braves, and Zach Greinke of the Diamondbacks. And those right there are your Gold Glovers. And holy smokes, there's a lot of awards. So we're going to stop there.
Yeah,
because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, guys. If you just want to Google it, I guess you can. It's just on MLB.com.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you want to get into...
We'll talk about the Jays for a couple minutes here.
Okay. I don't even know if there's anything to talk about.
Well, there really isn't. But, I mean, we're in November now, right? Yes, almost December. And... Well, spring training is still a few months away, so I mean,
we're talking about spring training. It's not even winter yet, but
I mean, I think this upcoming season for the Jays, it's going to be quite interesting because we don't know what direction they're going in yet. We don't know if they're going to go after free agents, like some free agents. And
they're like the Leafs when they brought up Are they the Leafs of 2016-17 or the Leafs of a year before where they had all the prospects in the minors but they just signed Brad Boyes and all of them? Or are they the Leafs?
It's that one.
Okay, so it's not the Leafs where they drafted Matthews and had all the young guys.
It's the year before that. It's the year that was horrendous.
Okay.
That was this past year. Because you got to see some of the young prospects, right? Remember that year that the Leafs sucked? We got to see Nylander, Connor Brown, Zach Hyman, right? We saw some of that near the end of the year, as we saw here for the Jays.
And that's when we
came
last.
And this upcoming year, the year after that, you saw Matthews. This upcoming year, we're going to have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So I see where you're getting at when it comes to that, but baseball is very different when it comes to development.
Isn't free agency coming up soon too? Or?
Yeah, well, I mean, the awards are pretty much done. And the fact that free agency, I truly believe that Jay's free agency isn't going to be crazy. It's not going to be anything to like go, oh my God, the Jays are going to be signing this guy. Whoa!
Oh, so Pryor and Atkins can I don't know, surprise us all.
Yeah, but I don't think they will.
Fish.
I don't think they're going to. I think they're just going to stay packed.
I don't think so either.
Spend some money on some older veteran players, veteran relievers, veteran starter maybe, some veteran infielder, outfielders, whatever, and then maybe try to improve the team by a trade as they did last year with Diaz and Grichuk. So, I don't know.
Who knows?
But honestly, or are they going to avoid that kind of stuff and then bring in prospects and then let the young guys come up? I don't know. I don't know what their plan is.
Or maybe they're going to keep the young guys down for another year there and bring them in mid-season. We don't know yet. But it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. So let's talk fantasy. Mm-hmm. It's week 5.
It's week 5? No, I'm 4-1, and I had to win by a week. So it's week 6 or 7. It's week 7.
It's week 6. Oh, no, you're right. It is week 7.
Week 7.
Yes, it is week 7. And me and you were having a little close battle there, bud.
Yeah, well, as expected.
As expected,
a little bit of a tight-knit battle, as we all expected. But let's go to the standings real quick here. Eric Johnson leading the way in the East, 3-2. You're tied with him at 3-2. New Orleans Brass, 2-3. Team Foley, tough time there, bud. 0-5 to start his season. In the West, Frank Morris Stallions, he's 5-1. Great job. I think actually I beat him in week 1, if I'm not mistaken. Then he's run the course since then. I'm 4-1, and Ethan Cole's Team Fortnite God. He's 3-3. Brendan Eskimos, John Murray, he's 2-3, and Sultan ZG,
I guess that's the Pittsburgh Penguins.
4 on his season. So.
I'm leading by 3 with you, but hey, guys, you know what?
It's 3 points is 1 goal. So, I mean, really, it's not...
And actually, this is my first time competitively playing hockey fantasy.
Yep,
I realize the goalies don't mean anything.
No, for the most part, they give you minus.
So what I'm doing is I'm literally just swapping them out. Like, I'm having no goalies in every game. Every day.
Because sometimes they can give you like 4 points or 2 points.
Sometimes.
But if they lose a game, you can lose like 1-0. And have like a 950 save percentage and get minus like 3 points.
I remember. I think 3 weeks ago I don't even know who I was facing. I think I was actually facing Ethan Coles, and this was on a Sunday. I was leading by I think I was leading by 15 points or something like that, or like 7 points. Yes, I was leading by 7 points. I had Jake Allen in 1 game. He blew it. It was a -10, and I lost by like 1 or 2 points.
Oh wow!
From him. So. If I were you guys, if you're struggling like Aiden Foley or even Ethan Coles for that matter, just swap out your goalie. You really don't need them.
I mean, it's gonna suck if you see like +4 and they're on the bench, but I mean, really, the odds of that happening are not very,
not really high. No. So let's keep going. And it's fun. I think every year we should do this.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. It's competitive and it keeps you up to date with all kinds of hockey related things around the league as well. So if you're just a Leaf fan, well technically you got to be an entire NHL fan, I guess, if this is what's going on here. So now we're gonna go to the podcast questions. Only a few. Chatterbox reviews, thoughts on Jimmy Butler joining the Sixers and what they mean for the Raptors.
We've talked about this
already.
It's not a huge break, but what the 76ers...
Look, Jimmy Butler's an all-star. That's what it is. Will he be a big name there? I don't know. With Joel Embiid's... With the way Joel Embiid is...
I think where anywhere he'll go, he'll be a big name, but he wants to be the guy, and I don't think he is the guy on the 76ers, but it makes him a better team.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't think that Jimmy Butler... Look, I just don't have faith in the 76ers. I think they're a third seed at best, like they were set at before the year.
In the playoffs, though, I don't know.
Well, I think when the playoffs comes, you never really know. Roderick B-Bane, what's going on? Do you have any tips for staying awake late to watch the Leafs when they are traveling on the West Coast?
Tell me about it.
Give them a hot chocolate.
Well, a coffee if you're into that. I know you're not, but hit up the nearest Tim Hortons or Starbucks in your area.
If you have a coffee, you're staying up all night. That's the problem.
Well, the game ended at like 12:30.
Still, for me, it was just kind of being on my phone, watching the game, just trying to focus.
I think maybe take a nap before the game, so then you're wide awake.
That's a good idea.
So coffee, nap, and I guess just be on your phone.
That's actually a good idea here. Ibaka for MVP, 80-2.
Well, now they're 73 and 3.
79 and 3. So there you go. How do you think the return of Malcolm Miller will impact the Raptors if Powell is still out and CJ is still playing below average? If I remember correctly, he was a lights-out 3-point shooter. We didn't see much of Malcolm Miller last season. CJ Miles is actually hurt right now. He sent this to us 22 hours ago before the game yesterday. So
wasn't Malcolm Miller a G League guy? We signed him.
Yeah, last year.
Denver, right?
Yeah. Was it Denver?
I think it was Denver.
Might have been. I don't know. Powell and CJ are out for quite a while. Or I think at least Powell is.
You could see a shot, but at this point, I don't know.
I think as of right now, I think Malachi Richardson would get more of a look than him just because he's played more in the G League and he's been very, very good in the G League.
Just because we got him for Bruno, the GOAT.
Yeah, right? It's basically what Bruno was, really. I don't know. I don't know how much of a shot he will get.
Especially when he's, 24, 25?
Yeah, something along those lines.
He's quite old. He's like a Lorenzo Brown type of player.
Yeah.
But he's a sharp shooter, I guess, in the G League he was.
Yeah. So, I mean, do I think that'll happen? Do I think he'll get a chance? I think it's possible. But you know what?
Anything's possible. Anything is possible, but...
Yes, KG. Yes, Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible!
So Nylander can sign anything is possible.
Anything's possible. Right. Or he could get traded for Alex Pietrangelo. Yes. I said it.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap it up right on that. Nylander for Pietrangelo. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's podcast. The next 2 weeks will be Thursday.
So same time, same place.
So for 3 weeks in a row, it looks like we're going to be able to do the podcast on Thursday.
And then I guess in 3 weeks' time now, it's going to be... And the best of series, we are going to do that.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to do that and for, how we're going to go about doing that. And you guys still got to send in your clips because we haven't gotten any yet. So we need your guys' support. If you guys want it, you guys got to send it in.
Because there's been many funny moments on this podcast, so you guys have to just tweet us, add us, slide into those DMs.
There you go. That's what you got to do to fire us your favorite part of the podcast. If you guys want to go back and listen to some of them and give us your take on this part was my favorite, or I liked this part, this one was funny, that kind of stuff. Let us know, and we'll try and get into the best of. But if not, if we don't hear anything from you guys,
I guess we'll have to wait till next year. But again, guys, thank you for the support every single week, and you'll be talking to them tonight.
I'll be talking to you guys.
Wait.
Technically, it'll be tomorrow morning, but it'll be technically...
Don't you work tomorrow, too?
Yep. Puck drop tonight as the Leafs take on the Sharks. I think, is it a 10 o'clock or 10:30?
10:30. It's 10:30.
10:30 puck drop at the Shark Tank. Now...
In the SAP Center.
Jeez. The SAP Center.
Oh.
But anyways, look, the Sharks are better than the Kings, so... It's going to be a very good matchup there
Still
tonight.
not the greatest, but
No, it's
right?
going to be a lot of fun though tonight against the Sharks. All right, as the Leafs look to win 2 straight on the West Coast trip so far. That'd be quite a good start to that. And Evan and I will talk to you guys next Thursday, same time, same place, a week today. And when that comes due, I mean, we will be just over a week until Nylander could be a free agent or he could be signed. But that's been the same case every single week of the podcast.
Right.
So we'll have to wait and see, guys. But thank you guys so much for all your guys' support. And Evan and I will talk to you guys next Thursday, podcast edition, as we look for some positive things to talk about.
Don't say it.
We'll talk to you guys then.
Peace.